Right now, more than a decade of property tax increases in area school districts. What's behind it?
Plus, how a Waunakee clinic is responding this morning as its former owner faces animal abuse charges.
And we have a warm, kind of mild, wet, and windy start to your Wednesday. I'll time out those precipitation chances as well as when we might see our next chance for accumulating snow.
Warm, wet, windy Wednesday.
There you
All
go.
The W's. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for News for Now this morning. I'm Josh Brighter.
And I'm Leah Lynch. And Chris Stanford has the day off. Josh was talking about how the wind was keeping him up last night.
It was howling.
It was. It honestly, I thought it was an animal walking into work this morning. I had to stop and look around. It was really loud whipping around the building.
It was loud. Like I said, we had quite a bit of wind last night. Along with the warm temperatures, well, mild temperatures. I don't know if I'd consider it too warm, but still mild temperatures overall as the rain kind of has come through. So really what we're going to look at for driving today is the winds. They'll subside a little bit, but rain more moderate this morning and then maybe this evening for the evening commute. Temperatures, the good news, are going to be above freezing. We're not going to deal with any of those issues. And then maybe snow later tonight. More to come on that in a little bit, but we could see some issues with that. The main band of line of rain is actually pushing more to the northeast of Madison, more scattered in nature as you go further southwest. That'll be the trend through most of the day. We'll see another wave develop here. As you zoom in, you can kind of see that band now pushing northeast of Madison right now. So overall, we should see a decrease in that, but overall, a few showers will still continue, and that's what the future track shows right now. That's what we're going to be on. As you plan your day out, more rain with more steadier rain come this afternoon. I'll time out when we may expect some snow later tonight, a bit later in the broadcast.
All right, Greg, thank you. That massive weather system continues to barrel across the country. It has now turned deadly. There's at least one death now tied to heavy rain and tornadoes down south, spanning from Texas to Oklahoma and Louisiana. A child there was killed and their mother still missing this morning. Farther north, blizzard conditions in Colorado and Nebraska are shutting down major highways and even interstates.
Each area is really having a unique element when it comes to the storm. And so we're waiting for those things to happen. Crews are staying prepared. We're monitoring things.
Some areas to our west are even under a blizzard warning this morning, including parts of Minnesota, with the forecast calling for up to a foot of snow in some places. Since Monday, the storms have caused more than 10,000 flights to be delayed or canceled.
For the 11th year in a row, property taxes will increase in K through 12 school districts across the state.
McKenna Alexander explains why this is happening and what it means for homeowners.
When homeowners get their bills this month, they'll see a bit higher of property tax bill, as preliminary figures from the Wisconsin Department of Revenue project an increase of about 1.5%. This increase is a multifaceted issue, according to the latest annual Wisconsin Policy Forum report. Senior WPF researcher Ari Brown says it's a combination of state lawmakers working to decrease the tax burden, namely through keeping per-pupil revenue limits in place while increasing state aid, but those efforts being offset by the sheer amount of referendas passed throughout the state.
There have been over 450 school district referenda that have passed in the last 5 years alone. And, you know, despite state lawmakers hoping to lower property taxes because so many referenda have passed, there was a slight increase to school district property tax levels.
Brown explains that the increasing number of referendas passed points to a trend of school districts successfully reaching voters, to the point homeowners are willing to increase their own property taxes to fulfill a district's need or want.
And I think that there's this, you know, interesting kind of mix between the state wanting to lower that burden for property taxpayers and then property taxpayers, you know, pretty unequivocally throughout the state saying, you know, our school district needs a new building or it needs to be able to pay its staff to keep up with inflation or needs new equipment or anything like that.
However, even though property tax bills will increase, the property tax rate will actually decrease.
Just really across the board, every corner of the state, property value is rising very quickly. That has the effect of lowering property tax rates kind of unequivocally throughout the state. When you have value rising much faster than you have property tax rates rising, property tax levels rising, the rate is going to decline.
That was McKenna Alexander reporting. You can find the full report at wisconsinpolicyforum.org.
New this morning, a family in Beloit is out of their home after a garage fire. The fire broke out around 12:30 yesterday afternoon. It melted the siding on 3 neighboring houses and a garage. Luckily, nobody injured here. Firefighters, though, are still working to determine what caused it. The American Red Cross is helping out the family who's out of their home this morning.
The family of a Wisconsin State Patrol trooper who died last year from COVID is receiving a really big gift this week. Master Trooper Daniel Stainbrook died last November. He served in the State Patrol for 20 years, primarily in Washera County. He's survived by his wife and 2 daughters. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is now paying off the mortgage on the Stainbrook family's home. The foundation was founded in the wake of the September 11th attacks on the World Trade Center. It now supports the families of fallen first responders and veterans. Tunnel to Towers expects to pay off mortgages for more than 200 families this year.
Clients feel their trust is broken after a veterinarian formerly based in Waunakee has lost his license, his clinic, and is now facing criminal charges. Dr. Wesley Arnett is accused of intentionally and cruelly mistreating 6 animals in his care. Police learned of Arnett's alleged pattern of abuse in July of this year, but reported incidents, which we want to warn you could be difficult to listen to, go back much farther. Employees say they saw the clinic's former owner grabbing a dog by his muzzled snout until the dog's mouth started to bleed. They also witnessed him kicking another dog with enough force to move it several inches across the floor.
It was hard to read. As the head of an association for veterinarians, it was hard to read. I can't help but think about those animals that were there.
Members of Waunakee Vet Clinic, now under new ownership, said in a Facebook post they have zero tolerance for such behavior. They also mentioned no other staff members were implicated or involved in these charges. If he's convicted, Arnett faces up to 6.5 years behind bars and a maximum of $60,000 in fines. It's 6:06 on your Wednesday. 'Tis the season for gift giving and maybe gift returning, but return policies for your favorite stores could be changing this year. Consumer Reports shares its guide to the stores with the best and the worst return policies. Don't feel bad if they don't like the gift. Feel bad if they can't return it and you've wasted your hard-earned money. Nordstrom has one of the most lenient policies, generally with no time limit and no receipt required on most returns. But that's not the norm this year.
Some retailers have made their return policies a little bit more restrictive this year, whether they've ended expanded COVID policies or they're offsetting increased costs due to inflation. What this means for you as a shopper is that if you're thinking of buying anything you might need to return, make sure you read that policy carefully first.
Bed Bath & Beyond used to give shoppers a full year to make returns, but now the return window is 90 days for most items, less for electronics and smart home products. LL Bean used to allow returns with no time limit and no receipt required, but now customers have 1 year and only if you can show proof of purchase. Kohl's gives shoppers up to 180 days for returns on most purchases. No receipt, no problem. The store can look up previous purchases. You'll have 90 days to return items at Walmart, Target, and Macy's, but not all merchandise qualifies, so check out the exceptions online. At Costco, electronics and appliances have to be returned within 90 days, but for most of the items they sell, there's no time limit on returns, and you don't even need a receipt. And Amazon is extending its typical 30-day return window, but for the holiday season, most items can be returned up until the end of January. Just be aware, items purchased through third-party sellers may have different return policies.
The best shot at getting that refund or store credit is to make sure you don't open any of the packaging and save a gift receipt if you got one.
Another tip to save on shipping costs. If you buy something online, most retailers will let you return in person at the store. Some good advice there. It's 6:08. Coming up, an update from the Badgers' new head coach for football in your morning sports.
And we're live in the 608 to learn the mission behind Remits and how volunteers are helping support local food pantries.
With Pick and Save delivery, it's easy to get your special holiday foods brought right to your door. And that's music to your ears. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
At Wells Fargo, direct deposits come up to 2 days early with early payday. What if everything came 2 days early?
Have a good weekend, Mary. All right now. Have a good weekend. But it's Wednesday.
See you Monday.
Am I missing something? It's the weekend, baby. See you later.
Like getting things 2 days early? When it comes to payday, you can with Wells Fargo.
What are you doing this weekend?
You can get any phone you want.
Any one I want?
Any phone you want.
connection is the greatest gift of all. At U.S. Cellular, we're offering any phone free for new and current customers, plus $100 to spend on accessories.
At Chevy, the holidays mean going places and doing things you love to do with friends and family. Visit your local Chevy dealer, and when you find your red tag, you find your deal. Then make the most of your time with the people who matter most. Find new moments, find new roads. Find your red tag and get $1,500 total cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $2,500 cash allowance. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
When I had stubborn fat, I always felt self-conscious. I couldn't wear the clothes I wanted to wear, and it was so frustrating.
I worked so hard. By working out, by dieting, that stubborn fat was just not going anywhere.
I had this vision of how I wanted to look. I didn't feel like myself, so I did what I needed to do. I called Sono Bello. Sono Bello is America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist because it works.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently.
Sono Bello removed this big pooch right here. I have curves. I have exactly the body I've always wanted.
I got myself back, my shape back, but most of all, my confidence back.
I lost 4 inches off my waist. Going to Sono Bello has completely changed my life. Just look at me.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-510-6198 or go to sonobello.com.
Keep your holidays in sync with free pickup on all your fresh favorites from Pick and Save. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
6:11 on your Wednesday. We're in the 608 this morning to learn the mission behind remits. You've probably seen these cozy mittens at local stores. Ann Nelson is one of the volunteers who make up this group, and she joins us live to share a little bit more about this. Ann, good morning to you.
Good morning, Josh.
So walk us through this process, because you guys take old wool sweaters and turn them into mittens, all for a good cause here in our community.
Yes, we do. We get our sweaters from St. Vincent de Paul and Goodwill, and they are sweaters that they either can't sell or didn't sell. Some of them have holes, some of them have stains on them, but that doesn't matter to us because we can work around that. And all of our sweaters get, oops, there's my scissors, washed in hot water and then dried on high, and that felts the fabric and makes it something we can use to sew, and also makes a nice warm mitten. So if you've ever done that with a sweater, you know what that's like. And then we cut apart the sweaters and we make up kits. So each kit will have all the pieces necessary for a sweater, for a mitten, rather. And the kits go home with sewers. So these are primarily done at home. We do have a machine here that someone graciously donated, and we use that for training and for if someone's machine is in the shop, we have a spare, which is very nice. Then the mittens come back to the workshop, and each one of them gets a button. And they're hand tacked in 4 places. So this, again, hand sewing can be done at home or here at the shop. Michelle and Sheila today are working on making kits. Michelle is actually embellishing a mitten top, and that makes our patterns go farther. And Sheila is making a kit. And then when they come back to the workshop and they're all finished, they get tagged and then put into boxes for our selling season, which is in November and December. We work all year round to make our mittens for our selling season, and we probably have about 3,000 mittens in our mitten vault now. So, of course, we've been busy selling since November 1st. And so far this year, we've raised $67,000, and that is on track. Last year, we raised over $105,000 for 3 food pantries here in Dane County. So, so we're excited. Selling season is always a lot of fun because we have volunteers out stocking our different locations. We're in about 30 locations around Madison, and they sell for $35. Or as one of our volunteers says, you make a $35 contribution to the food pantry and you get a free pair of mittens. So that's one way to look at it.
And thank you so much for what you're doing in the community, and we'll have this link up on channel3000.com if folks are interested as well. We'll speak to you here in just about 30 minutes as well. Remember to let me know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out either on social media or email for a chance to be featured.
6:15. Got to check in with Greg Barnhart again with your first warned weather. A look at the travel threats over the next 4 days. Hey, Greg.
Hey, yeah, we're not going to see too many threats today. Obviously, with the wind and the rain, you have to pay attention to, like I said. But tonight is when we're really going to turn our attention to actually how much snow we're going to get and the accumulation, too, as the snow line kind of basically drifts from northeast to southwest. So still a lot of question marks on that. Once we get the winds will die down at least after today, and then we have an opportunity for more snow, but more light powdery type of snow as we go into Thursday into Friday. The stuff that tonight could fall is going to be that heavy, wet stuff, too. Overall, you can see the one band that's pushed northeast. We're going to see more scattered showers. The low is still spinning out well to the west with blizzard conditions up to the Dakotas. We're going to see another wave develop this evening, and it pushes northeast. That's when the transition occurs after 9, 10 o'clock at night. How fast this sweeps south is still in question, and how much actually accumulate, too, is in question. But we should see all snow later tonight. Then it shuts off. More drier comes in, and then by tomorrow afternoon, we'll see another round of showers really come in towards tomorrow afternoon, evening, and through Friday as this whole low kind of wraps up right overhead of us right now. As we look at zooming in today, obviously we're going to get to the upper 30s, low 40s today, so no issue with any of the snow turning to this time into the day. But later this afternoon, you can see there's this band that'll start developing here towards evening right there. As that pushes up northeast, that's when the transition occurs after 9 to 10. This has it sweeping south towards 10 p.m. or after midnight. That still could happen. We'll see. Notice the temperatures, though. Even if it is snowing, we're still mid to upper 30s, so it's going to take a good heavy burst of snow to get it accumulating on roads. But something to keep in mind. Further north you go, probably better shot of accumulating snow on roads. Further south you go, probably not as much. Once it does end, it'll end probably towards the morning commute. We'll probably see not much going on this time tomorrow, but just snow on the roads if there is, and then obviously more showers tomorrow. So that's the thing to keep track of. Snow amounts right now, this is maybe on the high end of it. We could get up to 2 here, more 2 to 4, 6 to 8, maybe go up to Fond du Lac, to Dells, maybe 2 to 4 up there. Once again, this all is a big point of how quickly it transitions. So stay tuned for further updates later today. We might have to have an alert day or not, depending on what we see. Overall, we're going to see colder trends till next week. And look at those temperatures. Maybe not get out of the 20s here by the time we get to next week.
All right, Greg. Thank you.
To use Luke Fickell's word, it's been a whirlwind since he was introduced as Wisconsin's head coach. Fickell has hit the ground running since taking over the program and has had to balance a lot. And with a handful of Badgers not playing because of transferring or declaring for the draft, the big question for Fickell, how will UW handle the bowl game? His answer, the only way he knows how, to go out and win it.
I don't worry one bit about, well, can we be competitive or not? I mean, the whole objective is to win. It's not be competitive. Whether I'm just walking in the door, it'd be complete disrespect to every one of those kids sitting in those seats to think that they were brought here, but yet we don't think that they could put a competitive, even have a competitive advantage on a field with a really good football team.
It's been a long season for the Packers, and not just because they're 5-8. This team headed into their bye week pretty banged up. So the break came at the perfect time. Getting away from the field allowed several players to heal up, including Aaron Rodgers. Coming back from the bye, number 12 hopped on the Pat McAfee show, sharing his thumb and ribs are doing better. But now it's time to focus on the final month of the regular season.
We're now in the mid-December, and we have meaningful games coming up. It's great. Obviously, we need some help from some teams and have to win out. But, there's a lot that can change in a week. And if the momentum can start to go in our favor and we can stack a couple of these in a row, you never know what can happen. And that's exciting.
Romeo Doubs is also expecting to return for the Packers' Monday night game with the Rams. Doubs has been out with an ankle injury since week 9. Bucks return home after going 1-1 on the road, facing the Warriors for the first time this season, and Golden State comes out hot. But the Bucks shut it down real quick. Pat Connaughton drives the lane for the lead. Then it's Bobby Buckets from the corner. 3 of his 25 points on the night gives some cushion to that lead. And Giannis, once again, doing it all. Drops 30 with 12 boards as the Bucks beat the Warriors 128-111. In boys hockey, it's a Big 8 showdown. Top 2 teams facing off, undefeated Middleton hosting Verona. The Wildcats waste no time. Jack Marski takes a shot off the rebound. He buries down low. Verona is on the board just 30 seconds in. He actually scores twice. Then it's all defense. The Wildcats have a couple chances on the power play, but Cam Haynes locks it down between the pipes, and this one far from over. Verona wins it in double OT on the goal by Lars Brotsman. 3-2 the final. Back to you.
Jordan Reed, thank you very much. Hey, we're giving you a chance to win Globetrotters tickets this holiday season. They're going to be performing at the Alliant Energy Center at the end of the month. We want to get you there for free. All you have to do is answer our question of the day. Take a look. Today's question is, what sport did you play growing up? No right answer, no wrong answer here. Just head over to channel3000.com/contests to weigh in for your chance at tickets. You were a hockey player and a runner.
Yes, and hockey was definitely my favorite. What was your favorite?
I really liked volleyball. I really liked volleyball.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would have thought you were all about softball.
I did really love softball, mostly because I know I can beat you in it now.
Yeah, you can.
But volleyball was my favorite for
I
sure.
can skate better than you, though.
Accurate, especially 9 months pregnant.
Still ahead for us on a Wednesday morning where Madison lands on the list of loneliest cities.
And in our next half hour, the new push by a Wisconsin lawmaker to block TikTok across the country. Stay with us.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Shopco Optical.
Cobeson Buses, now hiring.
My name is Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
A must in your medicine cabinet. Less sick days.
Cold coming on? Zicam is the #1 cold shortening brand.
Highly recommended.
Zifans love Zicam's unique zinc formula.
It shortens colds.
Zicam Zinc That Cold.
Are we still on for 3?
I'm on phone.
When your team needs more space to work and eat,
Carl, is that mackerel?
No, it's trout.
it matters where you stay.
Fish tacos?
Carl.
Hilton for the stay.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I? Wow, is that really me?
Hi, I'm Annette, and I'm an actress. Under eye bags and wrinkles are so frustrating. They're so hard to hide and so hard to get rid of. I came across Plexiderm, and I was so excited. We have a model. His name is Richie, and all he's doing is taking a small amount. It's so powerful. That's all it takes. And what I love about Plexiderm is this is something that you can do in the convenience of your own home. And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm, please send me more. It's a cream, it's a topical. It literally creates an invisible layer that tightens the skin and smooths it out. All you do is gently rub it underneath your eyes, on your fine lines and wrinkles, and it visibly disappears in as little as 10 minutes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
I can't even believe that this worked. I was a little skeptical, I am not going to lie, because I saw people online with it. I'm like, yeah, right, that can't possibly work. I'm telling you, it really works.
I thought I might see a little difference, but to see that big of a difference, I have so many dark circles, I have the puffiness, I have the lines, like, it's amazing.
You have an event, you have any of those moments where you want to feel the best about yourself, I am telling you, the videos that you see on social media and TV are real.
This holiday season is the best time to try Plexiderm at our startup price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Cobeson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobeson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobeson.com to apply.
We're back at 6:24. Second Crop Creative sharing their morning with us, giving us a little sunshine on a cloudy day. We love to see it. Remember, you can always... No.
Sunshine
on a cloudy.
I don't even know the
I don't even know
melody.
Either.
You weren't in choir? Oh my gosh, our producer is laughing at us.
I think we're being told to move on.
Did you know I sang in choir?
You sang, huh?
Yeah, and I sang a solo and at Christmas Mass every year.
Solo, we couldn't hear you?
You wish.
Hashtag My News 3 Morning. Send us your photos.
I'm not any good. Don't ask me to do it anymore.
Trending this morning, Madison is making a list of the top loneliest cities here in the U.S.
The #1 indicator, how many people live alone? At the top of the list, Washington, D.C. ringing in at #1. St. Louis, Missouri, #2. Two cities in Virginia follow up. Lonely state there. That's Alexandria and Richmond. Madison, by the way, #13. About 41% of people live alone in our city. I said it earlier. I'll say it again. Just because you live alone doesn't mean you're lonely. You think, were you lonely living alone?
Part of my life, yeah. Like, were you kind of figuring things out yet, and then you get through that. But I mean, everyone has to go through that, right? You learn a lot about yourself, and then you move forward.
Would love to hear what you guys think. Feel free to weigh in over on our social media pages.
All right, hit us with a quick forecast.
Well, it's going to be wet today and mild, so enjoy the temperatures. It'll be in the 40s, so your bus stop forecast. Going to be wet, but still not too bad. We're not dealing with the snow, but I think we will see some snow tonight. There's going to be a lot of questions, so stay tuned for some updates on how much snow we may see tonight.
You going to do a little singing in the rain?
No.
Oh,
I'll stop now.
Live Look Outside. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hy-Vee Red Hot deals are super hot this Monday through Thursday. 6 packs of 7-Up, only $2.99. Hy-Vee cream cheese, only 99 cents. And fresh express garden salad, shredded lettuce or coleslaw, only 99 cents. Only at Hy-Vee.
Raising healthy children takes a village, and kids thrive when their village is healthy too.
SSM Health and News 3 Now are helping you unlock a healthier world with our Time for Kids Keys to Health campaign. We'll show you how sustainable choices create healthier lifestyles, explore the impacts of food security on families,
and share ways we can help build a healthy community together. Join us on air, online, and in your village, and take time for kids.
Garage doors don't like the cold weather, but if it breaks, Precision Garage Door is always ready.
Does not matter if it's raining or snowing or any kind of other weather conditions, we're going to get it done on the same day. We know how important that is to our customers.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
If you overdraw your account, Wells Fargo gives you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with a grace period? Like accidentally parking where you shouldn't.
Hey, what about this one? Nah, that one gets an extra day. Somebody got lucky.
Like having an extra day grace period? When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
They always say Kim never sticks to her New Year's resolutions. But this year, she's resolved to save money and worry less. And with the new Volkswagen SUV, she can save on maintenance over the next 5 years. So who knows where Kim's resolutions might take her year after year. At the Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event, you too can make maintenance cost worries so last year. Hurry in to lease a new 2023 Tiguan for 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 due at signing. Limited inventory available.
Fairlife brings more to your holiday traditions. It's ultra-filtered milk with 50% more protein, 50% less sugar, and a creamy taste. This season, turn delicious into delicious. Fairlife ultra-filtered milk.
Volunteering offers more than benefits for those served. Volunteers reap health benefits from the time they give. RSVP of Dane County's Driver Services Program needs volunteers to provide rides to medical appointments and deliver meals to older adults in Dane County. Ideal candidates are of legal driving age, love to drive, and meet new people. Schedules are very flexible, and volunteer drivers will use their own vehicles and are reimbursed for mileage. To make a difference, please contact RSVP of Dane County today.
Hy-Vee Red Hot deals are super hot this Monday through Thursday. Hy-Vee peanut butter, only $1.49. Fresh ground beef, only $1.99 a pound. And Hy-Vee cottage cheese, only 99 cents. Only at Hy-Vee.
Right now, a tragic update in the case of an injured animal the charges the suspect could face.
Plus, 3 people are dead in eastern Wisconsin after a fiery crash involving a public works truck. The latest from investigators.
And it's a wet and windy start to your Wednesday. I'll time out that rain here, which we'll see another batch later today, and whether it will see snow later tonight.
Good Wednesday morning, folks. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Josh Spreiter.
And I'm Leah Lynchine. Chris Stanford has the day off. He's probably not doing anything fun, though. Pretty rainy out there and quite windy, too, Greg.
It has been windy. It's a pretty strong storm, and you mentioned all the severe weather they've had down to the south. It's a pretty complex and large system that's pushed through. We've been on the warm side for most of it, so that's the good news. We just had the wind, too, with the rain. So really this morning, the rain's going to let up a little bit, and then we're going to see another round later this evening, so those 2 commutes could be wet. We'll have some showers during the day, but the one thing we'll notice is less showers during the afternoon hours and then less wind too. Overall, here's the radar. There's that one line of rain that's pushing up to the east. We're seeing more really scattered nature of showers to go on. That'll be the trend through the late this morning into the early afternoon hours. If you zoom in here, most of that line is now shifted north. We're just going to see scattered showers redevelop and then maybe another line here later this evening. That's what Future Track shows. Just additional showers off and on later this morning through this early afternoon with less wind, but temperatures still staying well above what we should be, above freezing, so no issues there. The next batch of heavier rain comes maybe towards the evening. I'll time that out along with what we'll see overnight, including maybe some snow a bit later in the broadcast.
All right, Greg Barnhart with your first warn this morning. Thank you very much, Greg. The social media app TikTok has more than 1 billion users, but it can now face a ban across the U.S. under a bill that was introduced by a Wisconsin congressman.
Shane Hogan is here with why it's all about security concerns. Good morning, Shane.
Hey, good morning, Josh. That's right. The legislation was introduced by Green Bay area Rep Mike Gallagher. There are 2 concerns here. The first is what happens to your data. All of TikTok's data is owned by its Chinese parent company, which makes it more susceptible to intrusion from the Chinese government. But as UW-Madison's Don Stanley explains, it's also a direct line from a Chinese company to the pockets of many Americans.
For example, we might start getting on our TikTok feed pieces of content that talk about the Chinese historical relationship with Taiwan, where it's very pro-Chinese. Like, hey, China's and Taiwan, this has always been a part of China.
He goes on to say that can impact younger Americans, especially who might be learning about these issues like Taiwan for the first time using the social media app. Gallagher's bill would ban TikTok from doing business inside the U.S. And earlier this month, he and other Wisconsin Republicans urged Governor Evers to ban TikTok from being used on state-owned phones.
All right, Shane Hogan reporting for us this morning. Thank you, Shane. The Wisconsin DNR is leading a criminal investigation into who shot a bald eagle. The eagle later died after not making it through surgery.
The Bald and Golden Eagle Protection Act declares buying and selling, owning and wounding or killing the species illegal. This eagle was found wounded on a private property 15 miles southwest of Milwaukee, and the Wisconsin Humane Society took on the task of getting it back on its wings again.
Despite everyone's best efforts at saving this bald eagle, he succumbed to his injuries. It's really seemed to strike a chord in a lot of people in the community.
If you have any tips related to the eagle or who might be responsible, the DNR is asking you to call or text their hotline number, which is on your screen right now. You can also send an online report to its violation hotline. We have that information and the number on our website, channel3000.com.
A Navy recruiter accused of sexually assaulting teenagers is scheduled to be in court today. 25-year-old Brian Bradley Hubbard is charged with 4 counts of child enticement and 2 counts of sexual assault of a child. Prosecutors allege Bradley Hubbard used social media apps to message and meet the teenagers while he was recruiting at a Rock County high school. According to the complaint, all the victims were under 18 when the assaults happened.
New this morning, authorities say an autopsy has confirmed the cause of death for a Beloit man found in the Pecatonica River as a result of the crash into that river. The Lafayette County Sheriff says Eugene Dinger died in that crash on State Highway 78 on December 7th. Officials believe he was driving north when he crossed over the southbound lane, hit the guardrail, and went airborne, landing in the river.
For the second year in a row, Foxconn will qualify for tax breaks from the state of Wisconsin. The Taiwan-based company qualified for $8.6 million in tax credits. Those breaks based on creating roughly 750 jobs at its Racine County facility. Last year, Governor Evers revised the state's contract with the company. They're expected to now invest up to $672 million in their facilities over the next 3 years. The original contract by former Governor Walker had envisioned a $10 billion investment. That would have employed up to 13,000 people. Under that original deal, Foxconn could have qualified for nearly $4 billion in state and local tax breaks.
Take a look at this fiery video this morning. Police are now investigating after a Department of Public Works truck was involved with 2 crashes that left the driver and 2 others dead in Wauwatosa.
The crash at Watertown Plank Road was determined to be relatively minor. The crash site at Wisconsin Avenue was much more serious. As it approached Wisconsin Avenue, it collided with several vehicles, which were stopped in traffic. Upon impact, several vehicles caught fire.
The victims included a 40-year-old woman, a 64-year-old woman, and an 85-year-old man. 2 stopped at the light here at the intersection of Mayfair and Wisconsin. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson visited the scene. He was unable to provide any information about the city employee involved in that crash, but says he did talk with the commissioner of the Department of Public Works after the incident. Another tragic story here. A Pewaukee family is going through a very, very tough holiday season.
Less than 2 months ago, 4-year-old Delaney's family thought she had an ear infection. It ended up being stage 4 brain cancer. Doctors said a tumor had latched onto her brainstem and was shortening her time left to this Christmas. That made her family have to cancel a wish trip to Disney World. So this community is joining together to make her 5th birthday this Friday on December 16th a magical one with a drive-by parade.
Offers from local police and fire departments to have squad cars come in. We've got some local community members decorating their vehicles, dressing up as like the Disney princesses.
It's not the only thing this community has done. A GoFundMe account to help with Delaney's medical bills is raising thousands of dollars for the family. What's more, hundreds of people from Wisconsin to Oklahoma are sending Delaney birthday cards this week.
Yeah, we're thinking about them this holiday season.
Just a tough time to be dealing with that at any time, but especially during the holidays.
Coming up on 6:37 right now, we are tracking that rain and snow with a live look outside right now. Notice that wind out there, too. It is howling. Greg is going to break it all down coming up in his First Warn weather.
And how the college football world is remembering one of its very own this morning. Stay with us.
And later, we're in the 608 learning about the mission behind Remits and how you can help.
Mr. Gnome, you look tired. It's exhausting going from one holiday sale to another, but not at Bob's Discount Furniture, where you can get this 4-piece cottage chic sectional for only $19.99. And it comes in 2 colors, so you can holiday the Bob's way.
Ready, Dad?
All charged up.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright with a special offer. Now choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order on select Ford vehicles. Lock in your rate and you're protected. I'm proud of you, kid. And that's how Ford is helping you shine bright. This season, choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% APR financing for 66 months.
There are moments in life, special moments, moments to share, moments to celebrate. Share the love. Celebrate the moment.
Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
Hi, I'm Gary Canulti, inviting you on a holiday vacations tour. Join me May 2nd through the 12th as we tour Scotland and Northern Ireland. This trip is rich with history, exploring places like the Edinburgh Castle and the Titanic Belfast Museum. We'll also enjoy the gorgeous scenery and friendly people of these two unique countries. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, for more information and to watch a travel show. Or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, for more information.
There's always a fresh deal on the Subway app, like this one. 50% off? That deal's so good, we don't even need an 8-time All-Star to tell you about it.
Wait, what?
Get it before it's gone on the Subway app.
Research shows people remember commercials with nostalgia. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's one that'll really take you back.
It's customized home insurance from Liberty Mutual.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Feast your eyes on one of my best-selling dining sets. Rustic style meets incredible value in my 7-piece Montana dining set. Available in dining height or counter height. Thanks to Bob's Discount, it's only $9.99 either way. Holiday the Bob's way.
News 3 Now, first warn weather before.
We do have the alert day for that winter storm coming through.
During.
Those roads are going to be very treacherous throughout the course of this morning.
You want to keep a good follow distance, and that's about 8 seconds when it snows.
And after the storms.
The snow is over with, but we're going to see some fog, some drizzle, and perhaps some freezing drizzle because of the melting of the snow, adding some moisture to the air.
Keeping you safe and ahead of the storms. Your certified most accurate team, First Warn Weather, only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back. 6:40 is your time. We are in the 608 this morning to learn the mission behind remits. You've probably seen these cozy mittens at local stores. And Nelson is one of the volunteers who make up this group, making a difference here in our community. And good morning to you.
Good morning.
So you shared a little bit about the process of how you turn these old wool sweaters into mittens. Now, you know, folks can see these out in the community, and whatever they do in purchasing these is giving back. Share how.
You know, I think I might. Well, we're available at over 30 locations around Madison, and that's a map. There's a map on our website, remits.org, that shows where all of our locations are. We're in all of the Breeks. We're in all of the St. Vincent de Paul stores. We are at several Ace Hardwares. We're at Metcalf's and Brennan's. So 30 locations, and you can find those locations on our website. We're also have hosted several special events, and we have one remaining this year, and that's at the Sausier on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So we'll be there with our mittens. They're, as I mentioned earlier, available for $35. It's a contribution to the food pantries, because 100% of our proceeds do go to the food pantries. If people want to get involved, we are always in need of sewers, home sewers, and people who are willing to do some handwork. We do train people on how to do handwork and how to make kits, which is what Michelle and Sheila are doing right now. And we're always looking for old wool sweaters. So if it's an easy way for people to participate is to donate sweaters. So if you're cleaning out your closets, or have something you're no longer wearing, or maybe it's a much-loved sweater that has a hole in the elbow, for example, we can take it. We can work around that.
Wonderful. And thank you so much for waking up early with us. Thank you and your other volunteers this morning for all of the work that they're doing here in our community. It is appreciated.
Thank you.
We'll have all of this up on channel3000.com, including those links if you'd like to help. Remember, you can always let me know what inspires me or inspires you. It's also going to inspire me in the 608, and then I'll feature it right here on News 3 Now this morning.
There you go. All right, we're giving you a chance to win Globetrotters tickets this holiday season. That's pretty inspiring. They'll be performing at the Alliant Energy Center at the end of the month. We want to get you there for free. All you have to do is answer our question of the day. Here it is. It is, what sport did you play growing up? No right answer. Just head over to channel3000.com/contest to weigh in for your chance at tickets.
Greg Barnhart here now with your first warn of weather. A lot to break down with that forecast, Greg.
Yeah, it's a pretty complex system. Unfortunately, we've stayed on the warm side of this one. It gets pretty bad as you go to northern Wisconsin and even to the plain states, too, where they've had blizzard conditions. But we are going to see a transition going on, and that's going to occur tonight, and that's going to see where we could see a quick burst of some decent snow accumulation for some areas, heavy wet snow. So more to follow on that. That's going to be the tricky part of the forecast. The winds are going to die down from the system eventually, and more snow probably for Friday, but that's going to be the powdery, light, dry stuff more. So those are the threats right now that we're looking at right now. As you see, the first wave came across. We're going to see another wave of really light rain, more steady light to moderate rain come up this evening, and then after that point is when the transition occurs to snow. Late tonight, around midnight there afterwards, and then by tomorrow morning, once morning commute starts, most of the precipitation, the snow should taper off, and then we'll see the low push further northeast. We'll get this wraparound, which produces more snow showers as we go towards tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. But really the tricky part of the forecast is tonight. For today, though, scattered nature of showers here this afternoon. We'll get up to the low to mid 40s, so overall not bad for this time of December. The winds will subside, and then here comes that line, or basically that area of light to moderate rain expanding northward toward this evening, and then the line starts shifting quickly southwest. Now, how quickly this goes, still in question. You notice the temperatures at this point, we're still mid to upper 30s, low 40s, so you need quite a big burst of snow to get that on the roadways at these temperatures. It will continue to cool overnight, but still, you're going to wake up with maybe some showers going on, but it's going to be tailing off towards the commute as basically the stuff's becoming more tapered with snow showers or snow flurries. So how much we have on the roads is still a bit in question. That's what we're going to have to really pay attention to. Right now, the greatest potential for snow is further north. The Dells up to Fond du Lac areas where they have some winter weather advisories for 2 to 4, maybe even more inches. Further down here, 1 to 2. You go closer to the Illinois-Wisconsin border, probably around 1 or less, depending on how this all works out. So stay tuned for further updates throughout the day. You'll get a better idea of what we're going to expect when you go on your morning commute, if we will see some road issues or not. Otherwise, flurries continue Friday with more accumulation, more of the light powdery snow, and then you notice the temperatures, they take a nosedive and continue down through next week with another chance by midweek, but it's going to be a cold pattern once we get past Friday.
Yeah. So are you thinking any of this accumulation will stick around over the weekend? Because it's certainly not going anywhere with temperatures as high as 18.
No, this will stick around. And then what's even interesting is that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, we're on the cold side of that system. And the temperature's that cold means it doesn't take a lot of moisture to produce snowfall. So I think that Wednesday, Thursday could be interesting. We could get quite a bit, but it'll be more the light powdery stuff. So yes, I think we're going to stick around for a while.
White Christmas.
Maybe a white Christmas, yeah.
I would say with this pattern, I think that's a good bet right now.
I like the sound of that.
I like that. Thank you, Greg.
It is 6:46 on your Wednesday. The college football world is in mourning after the death of Mississippi State head coach Mike Leach. The school announced he died Monday night of complications from a heart condition. He'd been hospitalized late Sunday night after reportedly suffering a heart attack. University members, coaches, and current and former players all paid tribute to Coach Leach.
Just a shattering piece of news. It has really rocked us. Mike was an outsized personality. He had a national following.
Coach Leach had spent the past 3 years at Mississippi State, his overall coaching career spanning 21. Leach's family says some of the coach's organs were donated to the University of Mississippi Medical Center, calling it his final act of charity. We're thinking of that whole family this morning. All right, it's 6:47, coming up in the morning sprint when the U.S. government needs to agree on a budget to avoid a shutdown. But first, it's December 14th. We want to say happy birthday to Davis and all the kids turning 3 today. And I also have to call out some of my Call for Action volunteers here at News 3 Now. David and Michelle are a little older than 3, not too much.
Still 3 maybe in their hearts.
Exactly. Thanks for celebrating with us here on News 3 Now this morning. And thanks to David and Michelle for their hard work for our station.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Warrens, Wisconsin.
My favorite time of year is finally here. Toyotathon is on. Who's crafty?
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan and roadside assistance. Toyota, let's go places.
I'm Rebecca, and you might know me from reality TV.
And this was my stubborn body fat that I just couldn't get rid of. But then I went to Sonobello, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
It is
so intensely gratifying for one visit to make this big of a change. It's amazing.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It feels incredible to look down and it's flat. Thank you again, Sono Bello. I'm so happy.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-800-595-1532 or go to sonobello.com.
Get everything you need to protect your vehicle from winter weather at Menards. Shell Zone 50/50 antifreeze and coolant guards against freezing and boilover. It provides critical protection against corrosion and is now just $5.99. Save on our great selection of Rayovac batteries and stock up for everyday use or those battery-powered Christmas gifts. Save big money on all Rayovac high-energy batteries. Plus, a Menards gift card is always a great gift idea.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
After a lifetime in the jewelry business, Pete Denny is retiring, and Denny's Jewelers retirement sale is in progress. Save up to 60% off store-wide. All must go. All bridal jewelry, all colored stone rings, all silver jewelry, all pearls, all diamond bracelets, and pendants. Absolutely every finished piece is up to 60% off. Pete Denny and family are saying thank you, Middleton, for 40 years of support. Join us for our retirement celebration. Pete Denny is retiring, and Denny's Jewelry retirement sale is in progress. Save up to 60% off. All must go. 1903 Cayuga Street, Middleton.
Need last-minute gifts? Don't miss the Hy-Vee one-day gift card sale. One day only, Friday, December 16th. Get a free $10 Hy-Vee gift card for every $100 you spend on popular gift cards. You'll find gift cards to more than 140 different stores and restaurants. The perfect gift for everyone on your list. Why go to other stores? Get all your gift cards at Hy-Vee and get a free $10 Hy-Vee gift card for every $100 you spend on gift cards. Friday, December 16th during the Hy-Vee one-day gift card sale.
My favorite time of year is finally here. Toyotathon is on. Who's crafty?
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan and roadside assistance. Toyota, let's go places.
For every woman at every stage, SSM Health.
6:51, right on the nose. Time for the morning sprint.
A spending agreement for next year is one step closer to keeping the government from shutting down ahead of that December 23rd deadline. Lawmakers announced they've reached a bipartisan framework for a spending agreement that would fund the government through next year. It's a major sign of progress from negotiators who've been struggling for weeks. GOP leader Kevin McCarthy was absent from that agreement.
Monona police have arrested a 29-year-old man who they say didn't stop for an officer trying to pull him over. He later crashed into another vehicle while trying to get away. According to police, it happened around 3:30 Tuesday afternoon. The 29-year-old man reportedly swerved at officers' squad cars and later hit a vehicle on Monona Drive at Owen Road.
Today marks 10 years since the Sandy Hook Elementary School mass shooting in Newtown, Connecticut. 20 children and 6 adults lost their lives that day. Survivors and activists plan to protest outside the NRA's headquarters in Fairfax, Virginia.
The chairman of the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack says the committee will hold its final public meeting on Monday. The panel's full report is expected to come out December 21st. Representative Benny Thompson says the committee will approve the panel's final report on December 19th and make announcements about criminal referrals to the Justice Department. The public will not see the final report until 2 days later.
A trial date now set for the church aide from DeForest accused of having a sexual relationship with an underage teenager. Court records show jury selection in the trial of 31-year-old Rajnal Raymat will begin in late February. During a hearing yesterday, Raymat pleaded not guilty to 1 count of child enticement and 1 count of sexual assault of a child by a person who works with children.
President Biden signing into law landmark new federal protections for same-sex and interracial couples. He signed the Respect for Marriage Act before thousands of invited guests on the South Lawn at an event at the White House. The new law officially avoids the Defense of Marriage Act, which defined marriage as between a man and a woman.
In the hockey world, the Washington Capitals captain Alexander Ovechkin, there you go, scoring his 800th career goal in Chicago last night. Take a look at that. He's only the 3rd player in NHL history to reach that milestone. Gordie Howe scored 801 in his career. The hockey great Wayne Gretzky scoring 894. Last night, he scored a hat trick to get his 798th and 99th goal in the first period. The lucky 800th coming in the third.
Great pronunciation there.
Thank you.
The U.S. Postal Service is honoring the late civil rights trailblazer and Congressman John Lewis this morning. The Postal Service released a forever stamp that will show Lewis from a 2013 photograph taken from an issue of Time magazine. In 1963, Lewis was a keynote speaker during the historic March on Washington. Georgia Democrat Lewis devoted his life to activism, spending over 3 decades fighting for civil rights. Lewis died in 2020 after his battle with pancreatic cancer. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is also set to be honored with a stamp next year.
Good news on the U.S. economy. Inflation easing more than expected in November to its slowest pace in about a year. The Consumer Price Index shows prices increased just over 7% compared to the same month a year ago. That is slightly less than economists anticipated, though still high. It comes as the Federal Reserve is expected to announce another interest rate hike today at 0.5 percentage point.
Sam Bankman-Fried, the former CEO of the collapsed cryptocurrency exchange FTX, was denied bail in his first court appearance in the Bahamas on Tuesday. He faces multiple U.S. federal charges, including wire fraud, money laundering, and other financial crimes. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has also filed charges against Bankman-Fried.
Researchers looking at the pandemic's toll on mental health found a 3% increase in teens hospitalized related to mental health conditions. The increase was especially notable in teen girls. 61% of teens hospitalized for mental health before the pandemic were girls. That rose to 68% during COVID.
Bad news if you're vaping to quit smoking. A new study this morning finds it's not likely to help. Researchers at George Washington University finding that people who smoke and vape are likely to continue smoking in the long run. The study followed participants over a 6-year period and found 42% actually quit vaping and continued to smoke. 15% continued using both products. Only 10% of participants actually quit both vaping and smoking.
The docuseries Harry and Meghan garnering more than 81 million hours watched in its first week. Netflix says that's the most watched documentary debut in the company's history. The series is in the top 10 TV list in 85 countries. Buckingham Palace said it would not be commenting on the series after the first installment. Part 2 of Harry and Meghan will be released on Thursday.
Yeah, it's quite windy, but more showers now. The main line of rain that we had earlier is just broken up, and now we're just dealing with showers, and that'll be the trend we'll see through this afternoon, too. Just showers here and there overall. We'll see more of a steady rain as we get towards this evening. Bus stop forecast, we're looking at just wet conditions pretty much, but off and on showers, not a steady rainfall until we get closer to this evening. Overall, as the things to know, we need to know going on. Watch for the snow tonight. We'll keep an eye on that. We could have some slushy roads come tomorrow morning. More to follow on that as we get closer to the forecast.
All right, Greg Barnhart, thank you very much.
Stay with us, folks. We'll have another news and weather update for you coming at 7:26. In the meantime, stay dry, stay safe, and make it a great day.